Bienvenidos a Bolivia.
Punk rock, hip hop, the love of country, all around the world, searching for those funky beats. 7 continents, 7 melodies, writing these songs, singing harmonies.
I actually chose Bolivia because I saw the cheapest flight was $290 to get here, and I said, why not? I haven't been out of the US in over a year, so it feels strange to be getting back into traveling again. And things do feel different this time around. On 7, the first season is completely done. That's right. I had written 7 songs on 7 continents and produced an album called On 7. And now I was back at it. Today, I had landed in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Honestly, I knew nothing about Bolivia. I didn't know I needed a visa. I didn't know that I needed to pay $160 to enter. And I also didn't know the country was in economic turmoil. So it's a good thing I brought cash, because the official exchange rate was 6.95 for every dollar. However, all the exchange agencies were giving almost 11.5 for every dollar. That's almost 65% more money by bringing US dollars into the country, which was wild and honestly sad for the local populace. Today I was just taking it all in. I've just been walking around the city. I went to the church here, spent time in prayer, praying for friends, and just praying that the Lord will reveal my steps and where I should go to next. And that led me to Psalm 32:8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. And Proverbs 16:9. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. There wasn't a lot going on in Santa Cruz, so I decided to catch a colectivo and head towards a little town called Samipata. I was really hoping our driver could keep his eyes on the road while also watching a movie. I'm not sure if safety was priority number 1 with this company. In the van I met Denise Meyer, a Swiss artist who had moved to Bolivia to pursue sustainable farming. She told me all about Samipata, being a melting pot of expats from over 45 countries. There were musicians and artists and all types of creativity being produced in this town. So Denise sent a message to Verte Baracumante, a local film producer and talented songwriter, who invited me to come stay at his house while I was in town. I already had a hostel booked, but I decided to cancel it because staying with a local usually enhances your overall experience in a new place. And let's be honest, I was up for an adventure.
Como una montaña que respira nubes blancas, desde el fondo de su verde hasta el amarillo claridad. Así es el paisaje que cabe en tus ojos como remolino de luz.
Verti's music was so good, and it had a really unique style.
Tiene una forma muy particular, o sea que es una mezcla de lo hispánico, lo indígena y lo afro también, lo negro.
It was also cool because the song was in 6/8 time, so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I knew I could learn a lot from Verti, and I was looking forward to writing with him. So I was excited to hear that he invited over his friend, the talented and famous
Jorge Arturo Lora, y también soy el Tarechi, un proyecto de música para niños y niñas con ritmos del oriente boliviano. Taquirari, carnaval, chovena.
Ya estábamos viendo un taquirari, que es un ritmo de aquí de Santa Cruz, del oriente, de la Chiquitanía también.
La idea es 7 caminos.
Cuando se me aparece el 7, cantando en 7 caminos.
The guys loved hearing my story about writing a song on every continent, so we decided to write a song about the number 7.
En 4 días yo te conocí, en 2 yo me enamoré, en 1 yo te besé y en el 7 me diste el sí. 7 continentes, 7 son los días, 7 son las notas musicales, 7 maravillas de este loco mundo, todo esto en una sola canción.
Es el soundtrack del proyecto de Kevin, hermano.
I had a blast writing with Verti and Jorge, but we were starving and it was time to eat.
Nezahat means like a gentle act or person, and it's my grandmother's name. I was thinking about doing a pizza place and a Turkish place, and my grandmother has passed away, and ever since I knew that its name would be Nezahat.
How did you start this pizza place?
It started the beginning of this year. I just wanted to make it for a long time. But then the pandemics came, life changed. I had a girlfriend which we broke up.
Why Samaipata?
I had a friend here, which I work with now, and she told me about the place, and I just came to visit her. I was already looking for a place to live in South America. I didn't want to go back to Turkey. It was just basically luck. I think life has its own intelligence. I didn't know cooking before I came to South America. I just kept working in whatever I can find. One volunteer offer, one volunteer job in a hostel, then in a bar, then in a hotel. I consider myself more than from Turkey, from here. Like, this is my home, these are my people, they eat. I try to make it as simple, as economic as possible, and I make a certain amount of food. No, I don't increase my production.
Serdar is the man, and his pizza was incredible. Plus, the atmosphere he set up at his restaurant is on point. But we had to get going. Verte wanted to show me the rest of the town. As we walked through town, it was so cool to see the kids playing and local musicians just jamming with each other. There was really a strong community here. This is when we found out that Casa Sueca, the local brewery, was putting on a special event for the evening, focusing on art, music, and of course, beer.
Salud. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yo llegué a 2008 a Bolivia y bueno, caminando con mi mochila recorrí parte de Sudamérica. Todo mi viaje por Sudamérica no llevaba cámara, ni teléfono, ni nada. Simplemente llevaba un librito, donde yo llevaba un librito y un lápiz. ¿Pero qué hago si me quedo aquí en Bolivia? Yo con mi libro y con mi lápiz en la mano. ¿Qué hago? ¿Tengo que hacer algo? Pucha, me voy a quedar, voy a ser dibujante, voy a ser artista. Yo llegué al hotel en Copacabana y en el hotel generalmente tú pasas tu pasaporte y cuando la señora me preguntó la profesión, yo dije, dibujante. Y la señora anotó dibujante y yo dije, no se ha dado cuenta de que no soy dibujante, ¿no? Pero ya de momento ya fui. Luego tomé una determinación que fue la de hacer un dibujo cada día. Yo dije, todos los días voy a hacer un dibujo. Eso significa que al final del año tendré 365 dibujos, ¿no? Al igual que yo, somos 29 artistas más exponiendo en la Galería 1900 en la plaza.
It seemed that Samipato was a magnet for the talented and the nomad.
Arte y cervezas. Yo intenté entrar en un colegio de arte y no me aceptaron. El total viajó 8 años en este mundo y llegó aquí en Samaipata por una vida más estable. Empezó en 2011 a hacer cerveza, pero nunca pensó que va a ser mi profesión, ¿no? El proceso de hacer una buena cerveza tarda mucho tiempo, ¿no? Es más o menos un mes por una cerveza normal y la gente le toman en 15 minutos y cuando en ese 15 minutos están felices, ese es el máximo, ¿no? Salud. Salud. Y al final el arte más una sonrisa en la cara, ¿no?
Muchísimas gracias a todos por compartir este evento.
It didn't take too long to make new friends and try some new drinks.
Guardado 6 meses.
¿Cuál es?
De antigüedad, a Chachairú.
Salud.
Juan necesita para la foto. Para la foto, ya.
Salud.
Salud.
The band was awesome, and these musicians were incredible.
Sí, grande aplausos para ellos. Increíble.
So I decided to ask them if I could join for just one song. But since we couldn't choose a song to play, we settled on a freestyle.
Solamente esa noche y en la calle estoy buscando por ahí banda. La nota es un poco buenísima. Probé la cerveza aquí porque es súper buena. Buena onda.
Este es el juego del Dao. ¿Ya? Dao viene de la filosofía del daoísmo. It comes from Daoist philosophy. So the yin-yang is about the complementarity of the good and evil. They coexist in relation to each other. Each one exists in the center of the other. There is no good without evil, there is no evil without good. And they are part of the universe. It's like the balance. Yin, the feminine, the dark, the receptive, is concealed by an energy that gives its form, that is Shen. And it's the same energy that divides it from Yang, that is masculine, that is light, and it's the same energy that encloses them and gives them structure. The persons that are playing, the players, they have their ego, so they want to win. That's why they cannot see with clarity what's happening. Each time one wins, it's because the other one lost.
So after a full day, I learned to play Dao with Martin and his family. And then, Martin and I spent the rest of that night talking about philosophy and music and spirituality and the mysteries of the world from a biblical perspective and also from our learned experiences.
Only that part.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I never write a song like that, but...
Great, that's the idea. That way we can both expand ourselves.
Let emotions flow. Energy is giving me the keys, and now I'm finally free.
And just like that, our conversations flowed into the next day. Martin wasn't just a musician. He was a sculptor and an artist with some pretty big ideas.
Geosemantics proposes that there is a language on Earth, and Earth is communicating through this language, and that is coherent. So Earth is another level of consciousness. I recognize an artist. When I see your work of art, you draw me a man, and I will see this and I will feel, and I recognize this entity that is behind this. Okay? Look, this is a hand like this. This is the fingers, and this is the thumb into the mouth. So, human breathe the air from South America and drinks the water from the southern pole. But why do we see it now? No? Because there is a message here for humanity. This is a symbol of Earth. This is the first communication towards humanity from another way of intelligence. We never have experienced this. And this talks about life is wider than we think, and that we belong to life of Earth. We are part of its system, so we have to re-engage in our role in its evolution.
There was definitely a specific energy or vibe in this town. Many people claimed it came from El Fuerte, a local megalithic site with mysterious roots. So I headed out with a local tour guide by the name of Danilo Montenegro to investigate. Danilo believed the site was originally inhabited by the Chane culture and later by the Incas. The main site included this large sandstone platform.
which had carvings of geometric shapes, animal figures, and strange channels.
Esos canales fueron utilizados por el Inca para vaciar agua o sangre de animales cuando hacían rituales a sus dioses. Una teoría.
Most of the symbols are intricate, and their exact meanings aren't entirely understood, leading to wild speculation that they may represent alien symbols or messages.
You know, I've been listening to Blurry Creatures so much this year, and it's crazy to be here right next to El Fuerte. There definitely is a vibe in this town that's very spiritual. I smell a lot of incense when I go out. There's a lot of yoga happening here, a lot of new age practices, and I think there's even a lot of witches that are here.
We have a whole street full of witch doctors, and they are the link with Pachamama. Pachamama is Mother Nature. In the Andean cosmovision, this is the name of our religion. So if you need to perform a ritual for her, they will give you a long list with all the things you need for the ritual. You bring the stuff to the guy and they will burn it up. The most practiced ritual is called K'oa. We perform the K'oa whenever we need to ask something to Pachamama. We just need to buy a candy. Wherever you need, you will find the representation in this colorful candy. Then the witch doctor, he will use this 96 degrees pure alcohol, place the offering, and then he will drink a bit. Then of course, he will light up the offering. Once everything is burned to ashes, then the witch doctor, he will bury the ashes in the ground. Yes, because everything must go back to Pachamama.
These bizarre rituals were unsettling, especially when you learned how they blessed a new home.
We use these babies to ask Pachamama for permission to build on her land. So for this, you hire one of these guys. He will go to your construction site where you're planning to build, and there in the place, he will perform exactly the same ritual and one of these baby llamas, and then the first layer of concrete on top of it, and they are ready to build safe because now your house has this animal spirit. The size of the baby will be totally related to the size of your house.
I was a little nervous to ask, but now I was wondering, what do they sacrifice for entire buildings?
Guys, we use fully grown human beings. For these important human rituals, you need to hire chamacanes. He will go to one of these areas in the city where you can find drug addicts, alcoholics, homeless people. I mean, someone nobody's gonna miss. We just provide the guy to Pachamama, and Pachamama must take his life for herself. Now you look quite shocked, yeah? Up here in the mountains, we price life. Yes, if we have to kill an animal, we only do it knowing that we're gonna use it all. So how comes? If we price life, if we respect animals, how comes we start performing human rituals then? Guys, since we were under the Incas, we had to start performing their rituals too. And we all know that the Incas were doing these human rituals very often to please their gods. We know this as a matter of fact because whenever we get to demolish one of these big old houses from the colonial times, yes, we normally find human remains on the foundations together with these baby llamas next to them. But guys, at this point, this is crime, of course. We cannot put people underneath big constructions just to make Pachamama happy. But if you ask me or any local, we truly believe this is still happening. Please do not pass out in the streets.
It was hard to process what I just heard, but the more I travel, the more sensitive I become to the spiritual warfare that surrounds us.
People don't realize, they're like, oh, that's fake, you know? Those people are doing magic. Oh, that's fake magic. No, that's real magic, dude. Just like God is real. But it's false teaching, right? Well, the reality is that's what the Bible says. And then you come to places like El Fuerte, and you're like, what is this?
It never ceases to amaze me that everywhere you go in the world, people are searching for a sign or a connection to something larger than themselves. But the fact of the matter is there is a truth to be found. I take comfort in 1 Corinthians 14:33. God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. I know there was so much more to learn and explore in Samipata, but it was time to hit the road. So I packed my bags and headed for Sucre. So the lady told me in Samipata I was going to arrive tonight in Sucre at 12 at night.
And as this trip has gone on, I think it's going to be 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. Who knows? I should have known better. We've stopped like every 30 miles to pick up new people. And now we're stopping for dinner.
At least the food was good.
It took us 12 hours to get here. The lady told us 8.
This is the city of Sucre, home to over 300,000 people, and considered the birthplace of Bolivia, since the Declaration of Independence from Spain was signed here on August 6, 1825. It is also one of the 2 capital cities of Bolivia. Today I decided to take it easy and sightsee with some new friends, but I was starving, so we hit the local market, where a meal was only 10 Bolivianos. That's like $1.50 for a soup, a plate of food, and a delicious juice. And let's not forget about dessert.
Con azúcar o con stevia?
¿Cuál es el sabor de eso?
Gelatina de pata con canela y clavo de olor.
The food was amazing, and Sucre was a cool city, but I think we showed up at just the wrong time.
So it's like election going on this weekend, and the government closes down basically all the transport organizations and the terminals for the buses. And then also it will be like a dry weekend, so you can't even consume alcohol in your own private space either, so it's quite strict actually. And then like restrictions apply, like you shouldn't carry firearms, obviously. I don't know, I read that online and it's like I wonder if you can still buy the dynamite on the market this weekend.
It sounds like this is the weekend of no fun.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No dynamite, no
alcohol,
firearms,
no guns,
alcohol.
no buses, no planes.
Nothing's happening this weekend.
As the day came to an end, I wondered how was I going to meet some local songwriters if these elections were going on. And then I heard it. This was perfect. I stumbled across a group of believers in the park singing Christmas and worship songs. They were so friendly and nice, and even asked if I wanted to learn the local dance. The next morning, I made plans to meet up with my new friends.
It's the Backstreet Boys. ¿Qué onda, Cinquita? ¿Todo blue o no?
We're gonna write a song, right?
Sí.
Perfecto. En la calle de los gatos.
Los gatos.
Pero ¿dónde están los gatos?
Creo que están muertos.
So during my trip, I had an idea for a song that I wanted to share with these guys. It was based off Psalm 37:23. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. The guys loved the idea and were excited to write the song. But first, they wanted to pray.
Señor Jesús, gracias por este tiempo que tú nos das. Gracias porque podemos estar aquí reunidos como amigos, como familia en Cristo. Bendito Dios, te pedimos en este momento que tú puedas ser el que nos guíe. Bendito Dios, Espíritu Santo, que tú nos des la inspiración para hacer una buena letra. Bendito Dios, que también te edifique. Bendito Padre. En el nombre de Jesús, te agradecemos por esto. Amén y amén.
Amén.
Ordena los pasos. Sí.
Sí.
Señor, dirige mis pasos y guía también mis caminos. Puede ser también.
Tiene que, pero
¿coordinar?
No.
No encaja, ¿no?
No.
Creo que el coro es el punto en el que tengo que rezar. Ordena mis pasos, Señor. En los versos son las cosas reales de la vida, como las tormentas y las tribulaciones.
Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento, en cada lugar. Tu luz me hace renacer. Ya, 2, 3.
Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento y en cada lugar. Tu luz me hace renacer. Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento y en cada lugar. Tu luz me hace renacer.
Su parte.
The guys that I was writing a song with invited me to church, which I'm really excited to go to church, but just now I looked and they sent me this. It looks like I'm playing worship service at their church, which I'm not really sure how that's going to work. If I'm singing in English or I'm playing and they're singing in Spanish.
Telling me that you have to play church service tonight in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on.
That's so unexpected, but that's super funny. And, well, I hope you will enjoy.
We also need to finish the song, and I'm in a large group text thread with me and 18 Bolivians, and it's a pretty funny text thread, but they've sent this out to all their friends and family to come watch me play. So it's going to be an interesting night.
But I think it's going to be a really cool experience, and like, yeah, just enjoy, man.
Un aplauso a Jesucristo. Ese aplauso correcto es para mí, para el Señor Jesucristo. Deuteronomio, capítulo 7, versículo 21.
You shall not be in dread of them, for the Lord your God is in your midst, a great and awesome God. I had a great night worshiping with other believers, and the pastor's verse for the evening was so fitting, especially when traveling by myself. After service was over, we spent the rest of the evening working on our song, Mis Pasos.
Andaba perdido y sin dirección, buscando respuesta a mi corazón. Estaba yo muerto en mi soledad y tú me salvaste de la oscuridad. Paso a paso estoy seguro, tú nunca me soltarás. Eres todopoderoso, tú siempre me guiarás. Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento, en cada lugar. Tu luz me hace renacer. Tus manos, Señor, son mi refugio. Tiempos de prueba y dificultad, tu gracia me sostendrá. Mis pasos, mis pasos. Llegaste a mi vida y tú, Señor, me diste otra oportunidad. Cambiaste mi vida y mi corazón, por eso hoy quiero cantar. Paso a paso estoy seguro, tú nunca me soltarás. Eres todopoderoso, tú siempre me guiarás. Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento, en cada lugar. Tu luz me hace renacer. Tus manos, Señor, son mi refugio. En tiempos de prueba y dificultad, tu gracia me sostendrá. Mis pasos, mis pasos. Sigo adelante, no miro atrás. cargando mi cruz, yo voy a llegar. Sigo adelante, no miro atrás, cargando mi cruz, yo voy a llegar. Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento, en cada lugar, tu luz me hace renacer. Tus manos, Señor, son mi refugio en tiempos de prueba y dificultad, tu gracia me sostendrá. Mis pasos, Señor, tú los diriges en cada momento, en cada lugar, tu luz me hace renacer.
¡Hola! Hola, mi amigo
El
Kevin.
mejor día en todo Uyuni.
Oh,
Posible
gracias,
en todo
amigo.
Bolivia. Posible en todo el mundo.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, welcome to the Salt Flats in Bolivia. I woke up this morning, was searching the city in Uyuni. I found a trip headed to the Salt Flats. I'm with a family from Bolivia, and we got 3 days to explore. The ground is actually hard. It's all made of salt. God's made such a beautiful world, and I'm just happy to be here right now. The air here is super thin. We're at 3,700 meters above sea level. The sun is just so strong here, and I put sunscreen on this morning, but it's already wearing off. Super cool area. I'm taking pictures right now.
Tres. Perfecto. Perfecto, amigos. Vos igual. 1, 2, 3.
Missing out on love, making a future with you, and a house on the hill with a couple of kids.
So we ended up at Isla Incahuasi.
This is an island in the middle of the desert, but on this island is just cactuses. The tour we're on today is about $85. It is with a Spanish guide, and if you wanted an English guide, it was $130. So peaceful and quiet. You feel the Spirit of the Lord moving here. This trip has really been so special for me.
I can see it clearly from where I stand. Time and space sure does a lot to a man. I can't believe that I waited so long.
Salty. Yeah.
For the answer to where I went wrong.
It's 5:30 a.m. I'm at the Salt Hotel, somewhere outside of the Salt Flats in Bolivia, and we have breakfast at 6 a.m. I am pretty tired. I slept okay. This room is cool though. The altitude is so high here.
The headaches finally got to me, and I had to ask Eddie, can I have a little bit of the coca? The altitude is super high here, and coca leaves are actually legal. It's not cocaine, it's coca leaves, and they chew on them. You just take the leaves and they put it in the side of their cheek, suck on the juices, and it really helps with headache or any altitude sickness that you may have. And it also gives you some energía.
A bag of leaves usually comes with chancaca, which is unrefined sugar that you roll up in the leaves before you chew it.
After trying them, I noticed it's basically like a cup of coffee. It doesn't feel any stronger than that. In fact, I think coffee actually feels stronger. So we're in this crazy rock field here in, I don't even know where this is in Bolivia, but there's volcanoes surrounding us, and there's these crazy rock formations here. It's spectacular. Super clear, beautiful day. I just saw an ostrich run by. I saw coños, which are like these deer, giraffe-looking things.
Then we got the flamingos. 3 of the world's 6 flamingo species live here. And let's not forget about the llamas, which are surprisingly in the camel family.
I'm hoping to see a chinchilla in real life. That would be amazing.
Hey, cutie pie.
I love chinchillas. I want to feel that fur.
He really doesn't like the sun. You gotta have good energy.
They're like cautious, but not that cautious.
Yeah, like he full on went and grabbed it from your hand.
So I came to find out these animals are actually called vizcachas, and although they are related to chinchillas, they are distinctly different. Either way, I thought they were pretty cute.
After this, we'll be heading to La Paz and then back to the States. It's been one crazy trip.
You need to know that in Bolivia we eat 5 times a day. Yes, we have breakfast, middle morning snack, lunch, tea time and dinner. So for the middle morning snack we have salteñas. You find salteñas everywhere in the country, but they are more traditional from here and they are amazing, guys. Very tasty, quite difficult to eat, I must confess, you know, because you have stew in an empanada, you know, so there is a lot of juice. They have the chicken one, the beef one, and they are amazing, only 6 Bolivianos.
So is there a special way to eat these?
Shake it, yes. It's liquid. And then you drink and you eat. You drink and you eat, okay? Yes. Actually, guys, we Bolivians can tell how good quizá you are, depends on how good you eat your salteña, you know? So if you make a big mess there, then of course you're not a good one. So that's why every first Bolivian dates are with a salteña, all right? Yes, just to make sure.
All the food here was so fresh and delicious, from the salteñas to the fruit juices.
Yeah, guys, the existence of these kind of markets is the reason why we don't have many supermarkets in downtown. Yeah. And because it's right from the field to you, you find some dirt on the stuff, you know, because there is not cleaning process in between, it's just all organic. She has cactus fruit. This is superfood in the mountains.
It was only 2 Bolivianos, and La Señora peeled the fruit for you.
80% of the fruit is water, so if you're in the middle of the nowhere and there is only cactus, you can survive from these guys. Uno para mí, dame case, porfa. Oh, it's so refreshing, so good, so sweet.
Aymara es calla.
Calla?
Calla es el cactus.
Ah, el cactus.
Van a aprender en otro Aymara porque les voy a hablar en Aymara.
She said that you have to learn Aymara because she speaks Aymara. Aymara is the native language here.
Deliciosa.
Muy buena. We love and prefer to come here because we always go back to the same lady to get the same product. Once the lady starts recognizing you, then she's the one that starts calling you casera or casero. So yeah, this is the kind of relationship you can get here. You can always haggle for cheaper prices, but not for food. Instead, you can always ask for the yapa. Yapa is the extra bit more for free. This is how these ladies show you how much they like business with you. And also yapa is a good way instead of bargaining for cheaper prices.
I was really falling in love with the entire culture in Bolivia, and La Paz was such a cool city. I really wasn't ready to go home. There was so much more to explore.
Welcome to Sucre Square, but we all know this place better as San Pedro Square. So let me introduce you to the famous San Pedro's prison. I know it doesn't look like a prison at all because it wasn't meant to be one. No, at the beginning this was a monastery. Then it became a military fort and then it became a prison. At the beginning, the place was designed for only 400 inmates, but right now you can find more than 3,000 people living there. So guys, it's overcrowded. This place is divided in 8 different sectors. Each of these sectors has their own representative or delegate, and guys, these delegates are elected every 2 years or so from among the inmates, because the delegates, they are the ones to keep everything in calm and peace, since there are no guards. So the inmates, they rule the prison themselves. What you're gonna find in the prison is a small city surrounded by walls with all these services run by the same inmates. Yes, services as coffee shops, barber shops, tailors, and guys, the most lucrative business there, clean lucrative business please, restaurants. Guys, we're still talking about a prison here in South America, so they must have some bad ways too.
In fact, it's believed that this prison produces some of the purest cocaine in the world.
You need to know that this is a very special prison here, and we have it here because in Bolivia, you are guilty till you're proven innocent. So if a crime was committed and they think it was you, they will take you right away to this place, so you will have to prove your innocence from inside there. Since there is a lot of people without a proper trial or even a sentence, the inmates, they have a lot of freedom there. Guys, they are even allowed to bring their family in. Yes, wife and children are allowed to live there. Before, you could pay this place as a 5-star hotel for a night, for a week, for a month, enjoying this experience of living in a prison here in South America. Yes, this tour started because of an English guy called Thomas McFadden. Yes, McFadden got caught in the airport with 5 kilos of sugar. He got taken to this place. He spent many years of his life inside there. So he started making a lot of contacts, friends, and money. He used to hire the strongest inmates to work as security guards for his groups. But once he left the place, the inmates, they took over the business, didn't care about any safety, and yes, bad things started to happen in these tours. So that's why the government banned these tours. Nowadays they are forbidden. If you would like to know better, read the book Marching Powder. Because the author of the book, he paid this place for 4 months in a row, living together with the English guy, taking notes of everything. So when he left the place, yes, he wrote the book. Yes, he mentioned this sugar business, and guys, he even mentioned these higher ranked police officers involved. So it was a big scandal. The book got banned in the country. Funny fact, Brad Pitt bought the rights of the book. Yes, he did it in 2012 though, still nothing.
I was really hoping there was a music studio in the prison to record in, but now it didn't sound like such a good idea.
Yes, there was no music studio there.
La Paz is so cool because it's set up with gondolas as the subway throughout the city. So you buy a ticket for like 30 cents and you can pretty much get everywhere in the city.
Yes, when we knew that we wanted to have the cable car, we called the Austrians. The Austrians brought the Swiss with them. They built the whole system for us. They come once a year to perform general maintenance in the whole system. So you're in good hands, you know? Yes, to be honest, I will be worried if this is Bolivian technology, but guys, you know, the Austrians and the Swiss, they always very straight, so you're in good hands.
This trip has just been so wild, how I randomly meet people just showing up places. So I thank God for that.
¿Cuál es el nombre de la banda?
Lúcido.
Lúcido.
This is like lucid.
Lúcido. That's it.
So I randomly got on this teleférico and met Lucido, the band.
What kind of music do you guys play?
Punk.
How is the scene here in Bolivia?
Small, but here in La Paz it's like a little bit bigger than from our city, that is Santa Cruz. So we like to play here in La Paz. Like the audience is like really committed.
Cuando caigamos al abismo y pierdas todo el porqué, no olvides que vos tenés el poder de la decisión. Quiero encontrar. A menudo tengo fantasías de perderme.
this trip is finally coming to an end on my last few hours. And something cool happened. Someone was listening to my music, asked me what my Spotify channel was, and I saw for the first time ever, I haven't been promoting my music, and I have 1,400 listeners, which has been really cool to see. I'm just leaving all this music stuff and all this travel stuff in the hands of the Lord, because whatever I've been doing for the last few years hasn't been working. So it's a new start here. I'm putting in the verses I've been reading in the Bible. I'm putting in my conversations that I have with people that are deep and difficult and spiritual and real. So yeah, it's been a really cool ride. Thank you, Lord.
Is it worth the wait that I carry to get paid? Spending my money on the things I don't really need. Task after task, no time to relax. They keep on pushing me so I can't really rest. Need a car to get out before it went black, but the line went gold and I can't call back. I'm in a hurry with no place left.